Hello, my name is Brian D. Meeks, and welcome to Snark Town. Today we're continuing with my satire, Underwood, Scotch, and Rye, Chapter 13. Is it warm in the lecture hall today? Arthur asked. When asked, do you want me to check? No, that's all right. If you could get those people playing the gongs to stop, that would be wonderful, Lou. Gongs? Never mind, I'm heading out into the fray. The chatter quieted, and Arthur said, It looks like we are close to having a full class here today. I hope everyone is well. It seemed they were. Arthur sensed he was the only one not enthused about being there. So, by a show of hands, how many of you set up new Twitter accounts? That's interesting. It seems that not only did our Wednesday attendees do their homework, but so did those who were otherwise engaged on the first day of class. Well done. Have you been using your accounts? Most of the hands went up. Arthur spent some time talking about the value of getting into a habit. He rambled for a while about some things he had read on various blog posts, and read the post about fake hashtags. It was well received. 30 minutes of the 50 remained. He was out of material. The student asked a question, which, thankfully, Wynne jumped in and took. Arthur then asked, How many of you read one or more blog posts? How many of you read one or more blog posts on a regular basis? He was surprised by how few people actually read blogs. Have you considered the power of citizen media? He asked. It was rhetorical because he was sure they hadn't. He was also confident he had not considered it either. Arthur tried a pensive look, with some pacing, but it only used 5 seconds. It was time to talk again. His brain was screaming something about the hair of the dog, but suggesting they adjourn to the bar seemed to be crossing a line that even Arthur knew was a step too far. He had never had speaker's block. I'm surprised that so few of you read blogs. It seems to be all the rage, and I assumed this class was hip. I guess we'll need to adapt. I'm nothing if not flexible. You, the young man with the questionable haircut, what are you studying? I'm in the journalism department. Do you read blogs? Not regularly. Sometimes I read the Huffington Post, which is sort of a blog. You like to write about current events, though. Yeah, I love it. I always read the paper. And how are newspapers doing in our fair country? Not very well. Not very well at all. I want you to find 3 blogs that write about news you're interested in and leave comments. Then, copy and paste the articles in a Word document, hit print, and bring the paper to class. Can you do that? Sure. You all have dreams, and it's partly my job to crush them like a grape. Oh, wait. That doesn't sound right. What was I saying? Oh, yes. There are blogs about everything under the sun. If you are studying graphic art, find a blog about that. If you love business, then, well, you see where I'm going with this. I don't think you can find a post and write, nice post, loved it, and expect it won't be met with a healthy dose of red ink and a scornful look from your TAs. Lou, give them a scornful look. Wen did her best, but scornful wasn't her forte. It was more of an angry bear cub, and there were almost any... I'm sorry. I love my writing. Wen did her best, but scornful wasn't her forte. It was more of an angry bear cub, and there were almost as many ahs as chuckles. Now, some of you said you read blogs, he said, walking to the blackboard. Let's hear them. People started shouting out various sites. Arthur wrote them down. The spellings were strange enough that his plan worked to perfection. It took nearly 20 minutes to fill up the board. Students furiously copied down the URLs. It really seemed like he was teaching a class on social media. He wasn't quite to 50 minutes, so he asked a couple of people what the blogs they read were about. Their answers, thankfully, were somewhat long-winded. Class ended. Arthur disappeared backstage and slumped into a chair. Lawrence found him and said, Good class. Thanks. Did it seem like I was faking it? Well, maybe. But the blog reading was a good idea. Kurt said, I agree. That it was obvious I was faking it, or the blog reading was a good idea? Yes. I really do need to step up my game for next week, Arthur said. Wen said, I think you did fine. I think I'll head to my office and spend some time tweeting. Wen cocked her head and said, Are you really? When I say tweeting, I may not be speaking in strictly literal terms. Arthur got up and without another word left. His secretary took one look at him and handed over the bottle of aspirin. Eric walked in and said, You look a little rough. I know, but it's nothing. A little couch time can't fix. What's up? Eric followed Arthur back to his office and said, We didn't see you at the pit last night. Did you use the personal pronoun we? Emily and I. Since when did you become a we? We're not a we yet, but I'm taking her to dinner tonight. Isn't she a little old for you? I'm 38. I don't think she's much older. Well, good for you. She's nice looking and smart, if you're into that sort of thing. I am. Where do you think I should take her? Eric asked. I think you should get dating advice from someone who goes on dates. I'm having a technical difficulty. There's something that's annoying me off to my left. God, still, just stop. Okay. Nothing makes for a good chapter reading like complete distraction. Oh, let's see. Where was I? Okay. Arthur said, I think you should get dating advice from someone who goes on dates. Do you think Italian would be too aggressive a choice? Eric asked. I don't know what that means. The Italian place is pretty nice. Does it say I'm hoping to get lucky? You are hoping to get lucky. Yes, but I don't want it to be obvious. She's smart and nice looking. I'm sure you're not the first guy to ask her out. I know, maybe Chinese food. How about dog food? You can go to the pet store. Chicks dig puppies. You're not helpful. I'm many things. Helpful is not among them. Don't you have a class to teach or a diary entry to fill with tiny hearts. She's really amazing. After college, Emily spent 2 years studying in France, then lived in Russia for a year. We talked about Rodin, not just the thinker, but Balzac, the Balzac piece and the Burghers of Calais. You are smitten. I really am. You need to hang out with us. I think you would like her. Maybe I can be the third wheel when you go to the prom. I do have a class. I'll talk to you later. Text me and let me know what she says when you give her your leather jacket. Arthur flopped down on the couch and yelled, I'm not here. He went to sleep, thinking about Rodin. Arthur liked the Burghers of Calais, too. So that was chapter 13, with, admittedly, brief distraction. I hope you're enjoying the story. If you are, feel free to subscribe, although, admittedly, by the time you've reached chapter 13, if you've not subscribed, clearly you're some kind of crazy person. So, though there may be some of you, and this just occurred to me, that have subscribed, but you haven't clicked the little bell. Did you know the bell means that you'll get an announcement every day at noon when the new post goes up? And that announcement will fill you with just glee and anticipation over what the next chapter brings. So consider that. Also, and I beg for this every single time, love me some comments. So have a good day. Be safe. That's an odd way to close out, but we had tornadoes here today and lost power for 7 hours. And so the fact that I'm able to do this reading at all just shows a level of dedication that could only be described as moderate. Thank you much.